What is up, guys? It is Megas coming back to you with episode 3 of my OOTP Kansas City Royals franchise. And today we do have the off-season, and as I'm sure you already know, this is a post-commentary. I recorded this last night. I went to bed before editing it. I edited it this morning, and then I tried to put it in the editing software, and it was corrupt. So anyway, here's the post commentary. So to end off the season, we went 54 and 108. Pretty terrible. We did finish with the worst record, so we do have the number 1 pick next year, which is good. However, we have a lot of improvements to make. One draft pick won't fix that, no matter how good he turns out to be. Our rotation was a mess. Danny Duffy was our best pitcher. Scott Alexander came up late in the year, pitched 50 innings, and was our best reliever, even over Kelvin Herrera, who had a rough year in about 50 innings as well. So the rotation was bad. Our second best pitcher was Kennedy, who has that awful contract. Now here's the lineup. Salvador Perez got really hot at the end of the year. Had a career year, I think one of his best career years. A 764 OPS, so he's probably looking to build upon that. Brandon Moss was our second best hitter. That explains everything. Yeah, we suffered some injuries at the end of the year too, so it wasn't very good. Here's the arbitration and the pending free agents. Kelvin Herrera was so mad he didn't want to discuss a 1-year extension with me, so I went to arbitration with him, and I did offer a contract decision to Christian Colon. However, all the free agents I let go, as well as I think I offered one minor league guy extension, but besides that, I let all of them go as well. The only award we won was Alex Gordon in left field. If I do remember correctly, the MVPs were Francisco Lindor in the AL and Chris Bryant in the NL. And Clayton Kershaw won the Cy Young with like 10.5 WAR or something crazy like that. So some good years for some good guys. So basically going into free agency, we had no money, and I needed to create some money. So I set out to trade Ian Kennedy to the Dodgers because the Dodgers always have money in a lot of it. So I ended up trying to trade them. We worked out this deal where I also give up, if you look here, I also give up Salvador Perez, which is not ideal, I will admit. He's coming off a career year. If you're going to sell high on a guy, you usually want prospects back. However, I'm not getting anything back here, as you will be able to tell. But I needed to get rid of Kennedy's contract, and Salvador Perez wasn't exactly cheap either, even though it was only 2 guaranteed years. We also gave up this McRae guy, nothing special there, as well as Corey A. Ray, just a random pitcher that had a good year in AA. So yeah, it was a rough year for Kennedy, so I wanted to get him off the books. Now we are taking some salary back here. We get Barina, yeah, this guy. He had a $5 million salary for 2018. We ended up just releasing him because he was a cancer to the clubhouse, and I didn't need that. So I just released him, ate the money, $5 million. It's only 1 year, so it's not going to be too damaging for a rebuilding team. We also take Yasiel Sierra's contract. Now, Yasiel Sierra is a failed signing they had a couple years ago. He's not good. He's extended for 4 more years, as I'm pointing out now. But it is less money. So while it may be longer than Kennedy, it is a whole lot less money. And they are retaining 40% of it. So that was the first trade. The second trade, okay, so Jorge Soler opted into the rest of his contract. Now, his contract is $4 million, but he is a god-awful player, and he will not accept a demotion to AAA. So I had to trade him, right? $4 million for the next 3 years. You know, that's not a lot to Kansas City, where our budget is going down $16 million a year. We needed to get rid of him. So we set out to trade him to the Padres, who had some extra money as well. And they were rebuilding, so I thought they'd maybe take on a short, low contract for some prospects, and they did. We do give up Scott Alexander, though. So he came up, had a great year for Kansas City, and then we had to trade him. As you can see, a 1.81 ERA. He was absolutely fantastic for us. So it's tough to give him up, but I do think it was sort of a fluke based on his ratings. However, the last time I traded a guy was Darnell Sweeney. Now he's a 5-star player, so I don't know what I'm doing. But I traded Scott Alexander, as well as this Martin Jasperini guy. If we get to it, I don't know what I'm doing here. Jasperini, he's nothing really. Yeah, potential utility guy at the most. Does play center field, so anyway, we actually picked up Mason Thompson here. A decent prospect, nothing great, but a decent one. Was 2.5 stars, potential to be a starter. If he doesn't work out as a starter, he could be a good reliever. So taking a flyer on him. But yeah, again, not an ideal trade, but it was to dump salary. And all in all, we gained about $10 million in this, where I spent absolutely every cent of it. Probably not the smartest idea, but I needed some players to fill some major holes. And I think we'll go to the Rule 5 draft next, where we did have the number 1 pick, and we selected Ryan Cordell, a utility guy. I was actually expecting him to start as center field for us, but you'll see what the manager did later. But he's our 4th outfielder currently. Just a good defensive guy. And then for the second round, we selected JT Chargoy. I don't know how to say it. Just a reliever. We didn't have many, and none of them were good. So this guy was there. I took him. Hopefully he can do something out of the pen for us. I don't know if he will, but hopefully he does. And then, so I had a few free agent targets as it comes up. We had a few free agent targets. One of them right off the bat was Addison Reed. He had a good year last year despite the high ERA. And he wasn't wanting much. So I offered him a $3.5 million, or I should say, $11 million deal over 3 years, and he took it with a player option on the 3rd year. So hopefully he can be our setup guy. I also signed Christian Villanueva, third baseman. Had a good year in AAA last year. I don't expect him to do much. I got him to be a backup third and first baseman, but again, our manager's starting him currently, so we'll see how he does in the starting role. Only paid him $1 million. Now, here's the pitching rotation. The rotation is pretty bad. We did Kyle Zimmer got hurt for 8 months to start in spring training, so he's not going to be there. We got Glenn Sparkman, minor league. We got him in a trade at the deadline, as well as Skoglund. He performed well in AAA, so I just brought him up. And then here's the lineup. So Ryan O'Hearn's going to be starting at first, that Villanueva guy, and then Andre Ethier. I signed him as actually the 4th outfielder, and the manager decided to put his 25 center field rating in center field. We do have DJ Stewart starting in left field, so that should be interesting to see what he's able to do. All in all, things are looking up. We have some young pieces now. Some major contracts are coming off the book next year in team options. We are expected to win 61 games. That would be a 7-win improvement over last year. So maybe we can do it. It's still projected to be the worst in the majors, but hopefully we can do a little bit better than that. But anyway, that's going to be the off season. We didn't do much just because we didn't have much money, but I think we improved the team. Tell me what you thought of the moves. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. And this is Magnos Gaming signing out.